this is Ed with Easy Camper Rental. We're going to go through a walkthrough on the 27-foot Texan. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this weight distribution hitch. You'll have this hitch that'll be provided by us, and we need to open this up, and we are going to get the camper to go onto the hitch. Might have to move the truck a little bit. Looks like we're going to have to back the truck up a little bit. So just watch as I try that. Get that to drop down onto there. We'll lower this down a little bit, and then we will make sure we can get this piece connected. So you have to take the pressure off the jack. Get that connected. We'll stick this pin back in there, and then you want to crank the jack back up like you are picking the camper back up. This will pick the camper and the truck up. The reason we're doing this is to make the weight distribution hitch go on easier. So then we will grab part of this weight distribution hitch. Chain goes up, goes into the bottom first, and then there's a little pin that slides up, and that'll go in place, and this will come over here. There's a little safety pin in here. Disconnect that safety pin, come down, and we'll be putting this to either 4 or 5 chain links from the bar. 4 or 5. On my truck, I do 4. On your particular truck, it may be different. Just check 4 or 5, and you just pick up, and then you put the safety pin in. Make sure you lock it, and that is one side. You do that to both sides. Chain goes up, goes in the bottom, top, and we went to 4 links. We're going to go to 4 links again. Safety pin is in. Pull that safety pin. Use this bar. Pop it into place. Drop it down. Once again, it will be 4 or 5 links, just depending on the height of your truck or how much it's squatting. And then there is an anti-sway bar that goes on. If you would like to use it, do not need to use this. This just goes on the little ball in the front. Pin goes back through, and then there is a ball on the back side. Make sure this is loose so it'll slide, and we'll just go on there and put the pin in, and then just crank this down to where it's tight. Remember to then go back, and we will take the pressure back off the jacks. And your weight distribution hitch is hooked up. When you are unhooking it, make sure you have pressure on this front jack, or while you're releasing it with this, there'll be a lot of pressure and it'll shoot down to the ground. Could get your feet, so make sure you have pressure on the jack, or be ready for some force on that unless you put this up. Hook the chains up, and then this is wired with a 7-pin electric brake. Hook up your lights and the electric brakes. If you're going to be using the LP for the fridge or the furnace, this lid comes off, and then there's just valves on the top here. There is a valve here to point at which LP tank you are using. Currently it's pointing here. Use this LP tank. We turn this LP tank on. Over over here on the battery, there is a red switch for on or off. You'll just have to, when you're using the camper, turn it to on. We're going to walk around this side of the camper now. Over in this front compartment, there should be some wood in here for you to level out the camper if you need to level it out, or if you need some pieces of wood for underneath the jack. Also in this compartment will be your jack tool. This goes on here, and you can screw the jacks up or screw the jacks down.
Perfect. Let's go.
These are stabilizer jacks, not leveling jacks, so just put a little bit of pressure on them. You have a garden hose in here. You also have your adapter for your electric in case you are only running a 15 amp breaker. In here, there is a hose valve, which you should actually not need. That's if you were to run just a direct hose to the camper, which I do not recommend, versus the pressure on some of these systems we don't know, and we don't want that much pressure in our camper. So we would like you to fill the water tank with a hose and just use the water tank. So fill here, and when you're all done using it and you want to drain, you can just flip this valve and the camper will drain the water tank. You come over here. This is your hot water heater. Should not have to touch it, but it is there in case you need to use the hot water heater. Here is where we plug in the power. There's about 30 feet of cord here. You just keep pulling it out and it'll come out. Down here is one of your black water or your gray water tanks. This is from the kitchen sink. So when you're draining water out of this is the water that came from your kitchen sink. So as we go back here, there's two more. There's another drain. This will be your black water and your water from your bathroom sink and kitchen. Inside here, there's a key that comes with it, is a shower. So in case you want to rinse off or just clean off before you go in the camper, you can do that. This here is for a black tank flush. You should not need to use that. Don't worry about it. Inside the bumper here is where you will find your hose to hook up and drain your tanks, and then that goes back into the bumper. Walk around this way here. It does have a 2-inch receiver on the back in case you want to throw a bike rack onto it. You can do that. Another storage compartment. Some outside outlets. We can go inside here. Door goes in. We'll just start with the awning. There is a button right inside here for the awning. If you're using it, please put it back away at night or when it's windy. It is simple as just pushing the button and it extends. That's going out. And then when it's coming in, you got to make sure this door is not shut or it will get pinched behind the door. Alright. Also in here is the button for the slide out. If you want it to come in, push in. If you want it to go out, push out. I recommend having 2 people here while you're doing it. One person can push the button and the other person can just assist if the slide doesn't look like it's going completely straight. So we can just go give it a little push up top here and then keep going out the rest of the way. And the slide will go out. Inside here we have your electric part of the water heater, which will only work if you are plugged in. And then we have the gas side of the water heater. You just flip the switch and the gas side of the water heater will turn on and make sure you have the gas. Your sink runs just like a regular sink. However, you need to turn on the water pump, which is located over here. Flip that switch and the water pump will turn on. If you need to check any of the levels of your gray water, black water, or your fresh water, you can just touch the button and it'll tell you fairly accurately of how much you have in the water. When you are not using the pump, if you could please shut it off, just another safety precaution to not have water leak all over. Bathroom has toilet and shower and a tub. Over here we have a bunk bed with another bed below it. And here we have a table that folds down. We also have over here the fridge. When you're using the fridge, you can just push the button on. If you're plugged in, it'll go to AC. If you want to run on gas, make sure you have the button pushed out. If you have it pushed in, it'll say auto. Then if it detects electricity, it'll go to electricity. If it detects gas, or if it doesn't detect electricity, it'll switch to gas. If you want to run just gas because you're running on a generator and it will not run to the fridge and the air conditioner on some of the smaller generators, we suggest you put this button onto gas. Thermostat over here for the air conditioner. Pretty self-explanatory. The furnace also runs off of this thermostat here too. So just go to the temperature you desire. Stove just runs like a gas stove. Turn it on, and there is a sparker for it. Microwave will only work if you are plugged into power. And then inside here we just have a little bedroom inside here for you. So that is, I believe, everything for the 27-foot Texan. If you have any other questions, feel free to just comment below and maybe we'll get back with you. Otherwise, thank you for watching the video on the 27-foot Texan. Thank you.